Just as I predicted, flipping is slowing down. No more big garage sales, no more giant rummage sales. It's catch as catch can right now. So it's been a couple of weeks, but I still managed to put together some really interesting, sort of eclectic, cultural, diverse, fabulous finds for you. So let's take a look. My first fabulous find is all of these markers. These are, I don't know how you say it, if it's Prismacolor or Prismacolor, but they're these dual tip artist markers. So there's a big fat tip on one side, and then there is a fine tip on the other side. And, you know, they're for making art. I organized them here by color range. This one is actually 3 rows deep. This one is 2.5 rows deep. So altogether, there are a little more than 100. I think there are about 110 pens or so. And these pens, brand new, sell for about $4 a pen. I found online a 156 pack that's selling for in the range of $450. But these are used. A couple leaked. I went through and I cleaned them all up. You can still see some of the leftover leakage there. I cleaned them all up. I organized them by color gradient. I tested each one on this sheet of paper so people can see what colors they're getting. And I hope to list the whole batch for maybe, I don't know, $75. They are used. But it's a lot of pens at $4 a pen. That's quite a bargain, I think. Speaking of being artistic, I found this cute Christmas ornament at Goodwill. And it was only $1.99. It's got a gold and kind of a black or blue coloring to it. I can't tell. It's textured. It's hand blown apparently by this company called Glitterville. And, you know, anytime you can find something that's sort of unusual, that has the tags attached, and it's got this little, I guess that's the company charm attached to it. I thought it was so cute and unique. It was $1.99 after my senior discount plus tax. It cost me about $2, and I have it listed now for $10. I sold one just like it already for $10, so I'm sure I'm going to get my price. This is something I found. I have this lens. It's a case for a Canon camera telephoto lens. Super expensive lens. I don't own it personally. I have it for work. But I saw these bags and they were brand new. There was a guy selling a whole bunch of camera stuff. And you know when you get a camera kit, it comes with all these extra little doodads and storage cases and whatnots. And so he had taken the lenses and put them right in his professional collection. Never used these bags. Beautiful condition. And I've learned over the years that I can sell brand new, like in brand new condition, bags and empty boxes. Whenever my work buys a round of cameras, I always take home the empty boxes, and I can actually sell those boxes for $10 to $20. This one I have listed, it comes with the strap. I have it listed for $25, and I bought a second one from the same guy without the strap. I have it listed for $22. A lot of others have sold in the range of $30 to $40, and I know that these are expensive because I use them. I got these for $5 each, so I hope to make $15 to $17 on each one. I don't normally deal with plush, but I saw this Mickey, and he looked unusual because he has this lei, he has this ukulele, and he has some flip-flops or slippers, as we call them in Hawaii, and it came from the Hawaii Disney store. So I thought, well, that's unique enough that I think this would be a good purchase. He was a little bit dirty. I cleaned him up just slightly, a little bit, you know, just from handling and sitting around, but he's in pretty good condition. He's apparently a special edition. I paid $2 minus my discount, so I paid $2 for him. He's quite a big Mickey, and new with tags. These are selling for anywhere from $50 to $70. Without tags, gently I like to say they're pre-loved or gently used. I hope to get $20 for this guy. Paid $2 for him. Speaking of animated characters, I always like to look at things that are Snoopy or Peanuts. They sell fairly well. This is and Peanuts, if you know, I don't know if you know, but the copyright on the Peanuts items is ironclad. Charles Schultz made sure that there were no unauthorized things going on with anything Peanuts or Snoopy. Now, I know it still happened, but he had quite an aggressive legal team. So I'm pretty sure when I find Peanuts and Snoopy items that they are genuine, and this looks correct for the period. He says, sorry, you'll never convince me that there's more to life than chocolate chip cookies. And on the other side, we have him, and he's being followed by a trail of chocolate chip cookies. So, number one, I thought it was cute. Number two, it had Snoopy on it, and Snoopy sells fairly consistently and fairly well. It's in pretty good condition. I got it from Goodwill for 99 cents minus my discount, and it should sell for about $10. It's also that nice small size that's easier to ship. Once you get to those larger mugs, you know, those big fat ones with the big handles, you're talking about going over a pound, and once you're over a pound, it's really not worth it unless you've got a super rare mug. It's really not worth it to try to flip a mug that's that big unless you're selling it for, you know, $40 or so. But I'm only selling this for $10, so keeping it under 1 pound is important. Speaking of Snoopy, I overpaid for these, but they were so cute. You guys know me. I just buy them. I buy things because I like them, and I think I can find them a good home. If I can get a good enough price and I can turn a profit, then I will pick up things like this. Maybe not make that much money, but a lot of flipping for me is getting these things into the right hands, into the hands of people who will appreciate them. That's almost me. I almost really appreciate these enough not to resell them, but I just don't need more little things sitting around. These are little danglers or keychains, you know, backpack hangers, or I guess you could use them as zipper pulls. I don't think they would hold up. But I got these for $1 a piece. They're from Japan. This is Snoopy in Tokyo. This is Snoopy in Japan. They're little acrylic dangler key ring things. Got them for $1 each. I'll probably sell them for $10 for all three. And I know that these sell. They're so cute. I really don't want to sell them, but I will. I said I got a bunch of eclectic things for you this week, and I really do. This looks like an empty bag that I bought for $2, but I just didn't want to be crinkling this bag while I was talking to you, so I want to tell you what was in here. I had a whole bunch of dinosaurs in here for $2. I could not resist. I love buying little dinosaurs. These are not so little, though. I'll show you what the dinosaurs were that were in there. There is this cool guy. I was never a dinosaur person, but for some reason I love to flip them. I think they're so cute. This guy is super cool. You can see there's a lot of wear. He was well loved, but then I discovered that he was missing his lower jaw, so that's a shame. He's probably destined for the trash pile. I like this guy because he's got a really unusual pose. That's a really unusual pose. You don't normally see it like that. You normally see this dinosaur with his head like up and, you know, facing this way, and this one's looking back at himself. I think it's super cute. This one is kind of like the other ones we were looking at, you know, the one with the missing jaw. Well loved, lots of paint missing, but still unique enough that if I bundle it with the other dinosaurs, I'm sure someone will play with it and appreciate this guy. This guy's a pretty standard dinosaur. I find him in every batch of dinosaurs I buy, but people still love him. I'm still able to sell these. When I sell dinosaurs, I'll usually just sell them by the piece, and somewhere between $5 to $10. It depends on the rarity, the size, the material. Dinosaurs tend to be really heavy for shipping, so as soon as I put 2 or 3 together, we're already going over that 1 pound mark, and it's not great for shipping. So this guy is cool because he's a little bit harder. He's got these articulated arms and legs, and I don't think his mouth goes, but his tail goes. I've got this one that came in that bag. You know, he hammers people with his tail. Am I weird in loving playing with these dinosaurs? Okay, so this guy is obviously the Happy Meal toy, or Burger King meal toy, kids meal toy, from the movie Ice Age. But remember that I keep all of these things. I have a little bin for each of these franchises. So I do have an Ice Age bin, and he's going to go in there to be sold with other Ice Age toys. This guy is really cool. He's got that nice sail up there. He's in good condition too. Here's a freckled one. Whoops. Good thing they're made of plastic or rubber. And with these dinosaurs, you know, you always want to flip them over and get in. I don't know if I can get in close, but get in real close. It will often tell you the name of the dinosaur, so you have that much less research to do. And it also tells you who made it. See, I would never know that this was whatever that is. And it'll tell you the toy company that made it. And a lot of people collect by the toy company. So lots of good things to like about selling rubber and plastic dinosaurs. One is that they're fun. 2 is that they're cute. But 3 is that a lot of the work is usually done for you. 4 is that there is a market out there. People collect these. Not to mention, you know, children actually want to play with them. So $2 for all these dinosaurs. I should do decently reselling these guys. So it was late in the day and I pulled into what had to have been one of the saddest garage sales I'd been to in a long time. It's this guy with like 10 items for sale. Literally 10 items for sale. And the only thing that seemed interesting to me were some books that he had on the table, and there was another customer kind of like man-spreading across that whole table, so I couldn't get to see what the books were. Aside from that, he had, you know, literally 9 other items for sale, none of which I was interested in. I think they were all blankets. So it was kind of sad looking, but this guy also had some really cute ducks and goats, free-roaming ducks. I mean, you know, there was a lot to look at while I was waiting there. But while I was waiting, it got me to look around, and I saw he had these shopping bags hanging from a fence, and he had $5 stickers on them, $5 a bag, and he had 4 bags. So while I was waiting for that man-spreading customer to get away from the books table, I decided to peek into the bags, and these were in there. But I don't know what they are. I'm not a sewer, and I'm not a crafter, but there were all these rolls of this in there. I've secured the end so that it doesn't keep unwrapping or unraveling. So once the guy who was running the garage sale saw me, he came running over. He couldn't wait to tell me what these are. Apparently, they're referred to as satin. I don't know if they're really satin, but they do have a shine and a sheen to them like satin. But they're called rat tail. And they're used here in Hawaii. They're used for making crocheted lace. I'm sure there are other purposes for them, but here they use them to make crocheted lace. So this man had taught these classes on making crocheted lace. And once that other guy got away from the table, I was able to see all of these different books about making lace. So this is a 2-for-1, 2 fabulous finds, yeah. And these books, when he bought them, they were selling for, I think, about $10 a piece. Now I imagine they're about $20 a piece. So I picked these up. He was asking $1 each for these, and they were so interesting. They're so interesting to look through, and he was showing me all the different designs and telling me all about how to use these rat tail ribbons to make these leis. In fact, this one here is one that actually uses that ribbon. So then that's what the lei comes out looking like. And it was so interesting, and he was so engaging. It really made me think about actually trying it. But you know what? If I tried to do everything that I pick up for flipping, if I got involved in that, what would my life be, right? I'd have way too many things going on. But the books were interesting, and I'll resell the books for about $5 each. These ribbons, it turns out, these rat tails, a full spool like this, which is 200 yards, is going for anywhere from $20 to $40 brand new. They weren't all full spools like these two are, but there were a lot. I would say I did buy all 4 bags. He gave me a break, buy 3, get 1 free, so it's $15 for all 4 bags. And between them, I believe there were upwards of 20 rolls in there. Some of them were just the ends, but out of those 20 rolls, I'd say 10 of them were full. So they fit in the large flat rate boxes, but I had to do 2 of the boxes. I'm hoping to get $50 a box, and I paid $15 for all of these ribbons. And it was a really interesting story, and I got to see those cute ducks. So I mentioned that I'd probably get $5 a piece for these books, and you might have thought, well, that doesn't seem like a lot. when it comes to these kinds of local things, we call it local, things having to do with Hawaii or originating in Hawaii. When it comes to these local things, I have a connection at the farmer's market, and she'll put these out on her table for sale for me, secondhand Hawaiian items. I sell them for $5 a piece, and I get to keep it all. She doesn't take a cut. So I paid about $1, I make $4, and then that way I don't have to deal with the fees and the listing and the picture taking, and it's worth it to me to avoid that, to take $5. I paid $1, so you know, it's a good profit. But I also got from him these local, or from Hawaii's Kitchens, all of these cookbooks, which are also really cool. So these are local cookbooks, and these will sell great at the farmer's market because people are always looking for ways to use all of the organic produce and whatnot that they're getting up there. Super neat recipes. If you're not familiar with Hawaiian cuisine, some of this might not look that delicious to you, but who wouldn't want macadamia nut angels, right? So you can see he paid about $10 each for these, and I paid a little less than $1. He gave me a bit of a deal with it. And I'll have these out at the farmer's market for $5 a piece. So altogether, a decent profit on all these books. Speaking of cookbooks, I got this from the same guy at that same garage sale. And this one's pretty unique. It's called Chop Suey, a collection of simplified Chinese recipes adapted for the American home by Mei Ling. Apparently, it was a project of the University of Hawaii, and it has a lot of local Chinese-inspired dishes. So I think it's pretty cool. Anytime when you're looking at cookbooks, anything that's very specific to an area, that's very homegrown looking, that's hard to find, that's going to definitely sell on eBay. So I'm not sure if I'm going to put this on eBay, if I'm going to send it up to the farmer's market, or if I'm just going to keep it and cook some of these recipes. But I think it's a super cool book. I don't know what year it was created. Let's see, 1953. So one of the things that I noticed in this book is that pretty much every recipe calls for just a little bit of wine. So that tells us something about 1953, I guess. Anyway, Chop Suey, cool book. Not sure what I'm going to do with it, but I love it. And while we're talking about local and Hawaiian items, I picked this up at Goodwill. It was $3.99, 4 of them in a plastic bag. If you're not familiar with them, these are called Kukui nuts, or they're candle nuts. And they have a very, very hard shell. There's an oily meat on the inside that was used for making lights or lamps or lighting things or burning things. But the shell itself is really hard, so it makes it a great bead for a necklace, if you will. Of course, we call them leis. And there are 4 of these in there. These 2 are pretty run-of-the-mill. They were given out at a luau. This one's a little more unique, and this one's really unique. It has a mix of, it goes 2 blacks and a blonde, and then 2 blacks and a blonde. It's got a little bit of a different ribbon on it. So the 2 more unique ones I should be able to sell for about $10 a piece, and these 2 I'd probably sell the 2 for $10. I paid $3.99 for the bag of 4, so I should make a pretty decent profit at it. These are so commonplace, you might not realize there's quite a market on eBay. So just wanted to point out, if you see these and you can get them at a good price, they do sell and you can make a decent profit. So this is a t-shirt. I actually bought bags and bags of t-shirts, and I hate to sell clothes. I hate to flip clothes. You can see I love things. Little dinosaurs, yes, I'm there. A camera case, yes, I'm there. But clothes, I can't stand it. I don't like the fact that I could have missed. Here's what aggravates me. I don't like the fact that I might have missed a little stain or a little snag or a little hole. And so I always hold my breath when I ship out clothes, because I'm not sure. I'm just not sure that I caught everything in the photos. But these shirts came, these were from an estate sale, and I so very much thank the gentleman who collected these over his lifetime. And as usual, as I've told you guys before, I'm happy to find these a new home where they'll be appreciated. So he had a whole bunch of shirts, mostly sports shirts, mostly baseball shirts, some airline shirts, and then he had this slew of sumo wrestling shirts, which I think I'm going to do pretty well with. I paid $1 a piece for these shirts. I tend to sell them from $12.95 to $24.95, somewhere in there. It depends on the rarity and the condition. But I wanted to show you this shirt because of my next fabulous find, which is my last fabulous find. As you know, my last one, I always show you something that I got just for me. In this case, today's fabulous find, 10th fabulous find, is something I got for me for this business. So hang on, I've got to get to the other room. Here it is. Here's my 10th fabulous find. It is a wooden valet, clothing valet. And you see, it's on wheels, so I can roll it all around. So it's not for me. You know, I said that it was for both me and for my business. And I told you how much I hate to list clothes. Well, this guy, this wooden valet, has made it so that it's so much easier for me to list clothes. All I do with my t-shirts, and I'm not going to get too exotic on my clothes, yeah? But all I do with my t-shirts is I just put them right over the top, and then they're ready. That's it. They're ready to take their pictures. I have my big picture window open, so the lighting is really nice. That's the front of that sumo shirt. And then because it's on wheels, I just turn it around, and there's the back. And then when I'm done taking my pictures, I do my measurements, and I flip this thing out, which I believe is meant to hold a tie or a belt, and I'll put a little card that has all the important information. I'll put it up here, and I'll take that picture. And that's how you probably can't see it, but I'll take that picture, and it will have on that card all of the important stuff that I need to know about that shirt, so that when I list it, I've got the measurements right there. Anything, this one says it's mid-weight fabric. Anything that I need to list, I fold it up. I put the card in here. I take a picture of the card on the valet. I put the shirt in the bag, and I'm set. You might be interested in seeing some of the other sumo shirts. So it's a photo. It's a graphic. I'm not sure what's going on there, but I'm sure someone would be interested in that. There's this one with this sumo guy. It says the sport for real men. There's this one that's very Japanese in its design. Pretty nice graphic on there. And there's this one from the Grand Sumo Tournament of 2008 in Los Angeles. So anyway, that's my 10th fabulous find. I love it for listing shirts. I still don't like to list clothes, but it's made my life so much easier. $7 at my favorite thrift store. And now I'm listing t-shirts. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll catch up with you at the next fabulous find.